Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elevating Your Life. I am just happy to have you with us. Our next show, and we're just continuing. And I'm so grateful to everyone for joining us today, and grateful for my amazing guests. And you are going to love the guest we have today. Oh my gosh, we have with us today Kelly Sullivan Walden, a.k.a. Dr. Dream. She is an award-winning, best-selling author of 10 books, a dream expert, certified clinical hypnotherapist, inspirational speaker, and workshop facilitator. She holds a doctorate degree in interfaith studies. Her unique approach to DreamWork led her to consult with thousands of individuals, from Fortune 500 executives to celebrities to stay-at-home moms. I love it. She hosts the Kelly Sullivan Walden Show podcast and is the founder of DreamWork Practitioner Training, an online professional development program empowering people to incorporate dream work into their careers. And she has, as a dream expert, been a regular guest on many national talk shows, including Dr. Oz, The Real, Coast to Coast, the Hallmark's Home and Family. She decoded dreams for celebrities such as Topher Grace, Stassi Schroeder, Logan Paul, Ricky Lake, The Real Housewives of Orange County, and Dancing with the Stars, and others. And her latest book, A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste, is going to be something we discuss today. But first off, thank you, Kelly. Thank you for being with us today.
Paula, it's such a joy to be with you. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored. I just feel like I don't know, in the coziest nook of the universe being with you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Gosh, and I know you have so much to share. Tell us give us a little more of your history, and kind of has what you brought you to writing all these amazing books, and then what brought you to where you're at now with this last great book that you've written.
Thank you. Well, I'm known as Dr. Dream because I've written a lot of books on dreams, but I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. I have a long background of paying attention to dreams that have helped guide and navigate my life personally. And then I became a professional hypnotherapist working with people in their subconscious mind. And our dreams are the language of our subconscious mind about 20 plus years ago. And I just discovered that, as strange as dreams are, once we talk about them, shine some light on them, it's just phenomenal, the insight that gets revealed in talking about them. It's almost like, in order to understand a dream, we have to go outside of the confines of our logical mind, which is lovely. We need it. But in order to pay attention to a dream and understand it and decode it, we have to tap into this more intelligent aspect of our own consciousness, which is how our intuition works, which is just that greater part of us that accesses a higher reality. So I just noticed that by working with people in their dreams, the therapy started to progress much more deeply. Dreams have an uncanny way of being able to reveal strategies that we would have never thought of before. I mean, there's one example of, I don't know why this is popping into my mind, but I wrote about her in my Chicken Soup for the Soul book, Dreams and Premonitions. Christy Woods had this bizarre stomach ache that just was going on forever. And she tried all kinds of things. And she finally has a dream one night that she's being pulled over in her car by a police officer, made to take a breath detector, and he does a breath detector and he says, "Yes, you most certainly are lactose intolerant." And she's like, "What?" And so she wakes up from that dream and then looks up the symptoms of what it is to be lactose intolerant. And sure enough, she was lactose intolerant. That was the mystery behind her decades of stomach aches. So it's just, I mean, dreams are great just for those tiny little problem solving elements that they give us, but also there's so much more connecting us with departed loved ones. I see your beautiful doggie on the wall behind you, and just being able to help us see a larger picture. So eventually, this led me to, I've written many books on the subject of dreams and oracle decks, but more recently, for people who don't necessarily pay attention to dreams, I don't want to rule them out. So this new book is sort of for the people who like dreams, but also for the people who don't necessarily remember their dreams and who want to use a more dream-based approach to problem solving
Mhm.
in their waking ordinary life. Because I think of, we're always dreaming.
Yeah.
This waking reality is also an aspect of dreaming. So we can actually apply the same principles that I use to solve difficult dreams and be able to help us redream a nightmare, for example, so that we end up on top, we end up empowered. We can use those same principles in dealing with our waking life challenges. And I show you how I do that by revealing some very messy and personal and embarrassing and even horrifying stories of my own where I have just gone splat and picked myself up and was able to reweave a new story using the DreamWork techniques I've been practicing for all these years. And I consolidated into a little formula called Ogle. And I use that throughout this book that's a hybrid memoir and self-help book. So that brings me to you today,
I
Miss
love
Paula.
it. I love it. And I would imagine it has been so fascinating for you over the years with what you've learned and what you've seen with dream work and the messages. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh.
Oh, yeah. There's something about I mean, there was one dream that I had years ago. I was in an argument, like kind of a falling out with a really dear friend. It was super painful. I couldn't understand why she was acting the way she was. And in my dream, I was her. It's like I walked 20 miles in her moccasins and I could see Kelly from her perspective, and I felt her pain. I literally understood why she was so mad, why she was so upset with me. And so I was able to bring that into a conversation with her the next day and able to realize, oh my God, I didn't realize. I had no idea. So dreams can be such a deep compassion maker. I mean, so we can really, there's not a single human on the planet that isn't a part of our own psyche. So one rule of dream work is to look at everybody through the lens of they're an aspect of me. And it's always me and me doing battle with each other or loving each other or forgiving each other. Even if it's just an aspect of myself that I think is maybe a speck, it's still everyone in the whole world is an aspect of myself. So dream work helps to create that deep compassion so we can do the healing from within instead of trying to run around like Chicken Little trying to fix everybody. The sky is falling, everybody do what I say. It's like that doesn't work. If it did, I would be doing that, but it doesn't.
That's just fascinating. I know I myself want to learn more about dreams. I don't know a lot about them. I don't remember dreams very often, but when I do, it's vivid. But I've always wondered, so is a dream, can it be part of my higher self giving me a message, plus maybe an angel, plus maybe a past loved one or a past pet? I mean, it can be a message from different areas, can't it?
Oh my God, absolutely. Well, we are multi-dimensional beings, and I kind of consolidated into looking at every dream through the lens of, is this the angel, ego, or caveman aspect of self? So the angel aspect would represent a true angel or a higher being or a departed loved one or departed pet that is a loved one. The ego is those dreams where we show up naked and we're in front of a group of people. We're like, ah, I forgot my clothes, or I forgot that I had a test due at school. Like the dreams that are kind of telling us about how to course correct so that we fit in a better way into the commitments that we've made in our lives. And then the caveman dreams are where we're really struggling with something that might be actually life and death, where we're actually dealing with one of those deeper issues that we're either running from or we're running toward. So yes, they represent all different aspects, and certainly higher beings that literally come in and visit us in the night.
Isn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, that is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's more to us than meets the eye, that's for sure.
so, would you say a nightmare where you might wake up just, oh my gosh, that scared me, really could be a message that could lead us in a positive direction?
Always. I think always. And some people, push back on this because they're like, well, you haven't met my nightmares yet. My nightmares have nothing positive in them. And I would say I would dare to challenge that, because I think that every single aspect of our dream is working hard, sometimes overtime, on behalf of our healing, health, and wholeness. So everything, and the nightmares are either they're trying to get us to wake up to a pattern that maybe we need to change or course correct. It's trying to reveal us. I remember my grandma was telling me about a dream that she had, that somebody was strangling her, and it was so scary. She woke up and she realized that she had a cold, so she wasn't really breathing. So her dream was saving her life. It was giving her this very dramatic image that would frighten her awake, so that she could then deal with that, and so it could, extend her life, which it did. So I think it's an empowering way to look at even our challenges, our difficulties. What if they are pre-scheduled in order to teach us a deeper level of
Mhm.
compassion, a deeper level of humility, and maybe even our own depths or our resilience? It's always trying to give us something. And the quicker we receive the gift, maybe is the sooner we can move past it, move into another pattern.
Yeah. And something you said that I just loved, life can make you bitter or better. Wow, that says
Yeah.
a lot.
It's so true, because we have choice in the way that we see things. And I mean, if like, just in the introduction of my book, I start off with my, like, here you go, just to, if you don't read anything past this, I want you to know my nitty shitty gritty list. And it's like, here's all the things that have happened to me. And if I wanted to, I could legitimately be the most bitter person on the planet. With each heartbreak, there is a choice. There's a place where we could say, well, there is no God, there is no reason for these things. This is just awful, and I'm a victim of my fate. So I don't want to be here. And while I'm here, I'm just going to be a pouty little princess and demand that everybody do things for me. And when they don't do it right, I'm going to get more pissed. As this, it's sort of a strategy, because if we pout enough, somebody might see us and give us what we want. But really, it's like, we're habit makers, so we create a habit of bitterness. And the more we do that, the more life keeps giving us reason to be bitter. So it's up to us. Like, I remember hearing Barbara Marx Hubbard say, I got to interview her before she passed a few years ago, and she said that it isn't a guarantee that the caterpillar melts down and becomes a butterfly. There's a lot of factors that happen in that meltdown phase. Sometimes they simply melt down. They don't immediately always emerge with wings. So that kind of represents that meltdown place in our lives when everything just feels like it's falling apart. We could stay there if we wanted. We have free will.
Mhm.
But we also can recognize, oh, this is that little window period between the caterpillar version of myself and the possible butterfly version of myself. What could I do to engage in the possible emergence of my wings? And there's a few things we can do, which is where the Ogle formula kind of comes in to help expedite that process and help to do what's in our lane to do, to leverage the situation so that we can, if we're going to go through a meltdown, we might as well earn some wings, but we have to do a little something to get those wings.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. And that it's so true. If we want to look at the bitter and be bitter, we're asking for more bitter. We're asking for more of that. Or if we want to say, okay, I have this, but yet I have this in my life, and
Yes.
that's a positive, and I'm going to be grateful and look for more of that, and that'll come to us. And really, that whole concept is amazing and just
Hmm.
life-changing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
That is so
S-
true.
Should I give people the Ogle way to be able to move from bitter to better? Do we have time for that?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So, for everybody listening or watching, think of something that is troubling you. It could be a relationship, it could be a minor annoyance, or it can be a true heartbreak, difficulty. Like, it doesn't matter. So, pick something. And if you need to pause this, then go ahead and do that until you really have something. So, to ogle something is to really look at it. It's to go behind the scenes. It's kind of like Dorothy discovering the Wizard of Oz isn't the Wizard of Oz. It's just a little man with a bullhorn. So this is about going behind the scenes and really looking at what's going on. So the O is permission to be offended and to recognize what is offensive about whatever the situation is that you picked. So give yourself permission to either journal or to tell your best friend or your therapist or out loud or whatever it is, to at least contemplate what is so offensive about the fact that this person didn't call me back, or the fact that this person thinks I'm awful or is so mad at me and I don't even know what I did, or whatever the thing is. What's offensive? Hurts my body, hurts my heart. It makes me feel, whatever it is, cynical, whatever. Give yourself permission to be offended. When you get that out of your system, you move to the G, because OGLE is an acronym if you can't tell by now. So the G is for what's good about this offending situation, or what could be good, or what might be good in a far off universe, what could be good. So if we pick something like, let me see, I'll pick one situation from my book where I got my purse stolen. This is an easy one. What was offensive was it had all my money in it. It had my laptop. It had all my books that I was in the middle of writing, and they weren't backed up, and I didn't have my passport. Oh my God, how
Oh,
am I going to go? I had my phone, my everything, my communication. What am I? Oh my God, this is offensive. It makes me feel like I can't trust people. It makes me feel like I've got a big mark on my back that something bad's going to happen. It was so offensive. And then the G is what could be good about this? First of all, it seems like nothing could be good about having your purse stolen. But what I said, well, maybe I'm going to be in Colombia for a month. Maybe it's good that I'm not going to have my technology to distract me. Maybe I'll, I mean, at least I'm not dead. I wasn't killed in this robbery. So okay, there's that. I mean, I guess that's good that I'm still alive. Maybe I could just be grateful for that. So you start to think about what could be good or what is good. And then the L is for the looking glass. This is, how do I, to some degree, do the very same thing that this person who offended me is doing? So how am I, in other words, in this situation, how am I the thief? Have I ever stolen? Yeah, when I was younger, I was kind of a little kleptomaniac. I did used to, I mean, I thought it was cool. I stole little gadgets here and there, mostly from beauty supplies places because I didn't think I could afford the makeup and whatever. But oh my God, I've stolen. And also on a bigger level, I maybe also allow my electronic gadgets to steal my creativity and steal my time where I could maybe be spending it more usefully in front of actual humans, because life is short. I don't want to spend all my time on my gadgets. So, how am I the thief? And then we move to the E, and this is for elevate. Now that I've gone through what's offensive, what's good about it, see myself in the looking glass, now that I have that awareness, what can I do to elevate my situation? How can I use this crisis to expand me, to grow my heart, my spirit? And I thought, well, I'm going to be more present with the people that I love while I'm with them, because you never know when our last moments are. And when I do get my phone and my laptop back, I will put them away when there's an actual human standing in front of me and not be like, move out of the way, I'm sending an email. It's like, no, no, no. Those human interactions are more valuable. So, OGLE is how we can pretty quickly transform the tragic into magic versus what Time Magazine reported it takes 3 to 8 years to sometimes heal from a traumatic experience. But I think if we really practice this little alchemy ogle formula, we can get into our happy place a little more quickly, like your book, like the way you are.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And yeah, that is just a beautiful method. That is just so fantastic. And it's just in changing the look and moving in a different direction. Oh my gosh, Kelly.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I know
Well,
that.
it's important to be able to see what's really offending us, what's really upsetting us. And then
Mhm.
once we really see it, oh, and then we realize there's more to this. This is working, this is happening. It's like that saying, it's happening, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. So how can I allow this to make me a better version of myself? And there's, I think this little mini ogle formula takes 10,000 tools that I have in my toolkit. Sometimes the more tools we have, the harder it is because we're like, which tool do I pick during this crisis? So I just consolidated my favorite ones and put them into this quick little way of being able to flip things around so we can get back to living, back to the magic
Yes,
because life is short. We want to have as much of that as possible.
yes, I love that because yeah, and it is what version of me is going to come from this? And that's something we can control and we can choose. That's beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That is
Absolutely.
that is wonderful to realize this. Oh my gosh. Kelly, I just love it. I love it. I've loved this book so much, and I'm going to be ordering your other books because I'm a big fan now.
You. Oh, thank you so much.
We have just a few minutes left in the show. Please share your website and any other, last messages you want to share with everyone today.
Sure. Thank you so much, Paula. So my website is kellysullivanwalden.com. And if that's too hard to spell, you can go to ihadthestrangestdream.com and that'll take you there as well. That's the title of my first book.
I love it.
And there you can find out about DreamWork Practitioner Training if you want to learn about DreamWork for yourself to improve your own ability to understand what your dreams are telling you, or if you want to add it to whatever you do as a healer, as a practitioner of whatever therapeutic models, people are doing that as well. I also have a Costa Rica retreat coming up this June 6th through 11th, and it's called A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. And it's a dream retreat. So we'll be doing dream work, we'll be doing a lot of breath work, there will be yoga, sound healing, a beautiful mud bath of under this gorgeous waterfall. It's with gourmet vegan food. It's going to be amazing. So people will come to heal, but also there will be a ton of joy and beauty. And I'm offering if people are listening to this in the month of February, I know sometimes this goes beyond that, but in the month, if you sign up for the retreat during the month of February, it's a Valentine's Day kind of extravaganza. You get the luxury dream kit as well, and that's got an $888 value that includes some like eye mask and essential oils and journals and just a whole luxury dream kit that I've curated myself.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that sounds so fantastic. That
Thank you.
sounds so fantastic. How often do you do these retreats? They sound so fantastic.
I do. I mean, I will take people on trips. Usually before COVID, it was every year to Teotihuacan, Mexico. And this year I am going to do one actually in it'll be around Dia de los Muertos. So at the end of October, early November. Actually, I just got this in the mail yesterday. I don't know if you can see it because of my little background, but nah, can't see it. But it's a Dia de los Muertos oracle deck that
Oh,
just this is
fun.
a pre-publication copy, Anyway, so I'll be taking people there. And I mean, it's just kind of whenever the mood strikes, I take people on journeys. And it's a way to be able to just really deepen in the dream work and take it to a much more rich and soulful level. And a lot of people at the end of the retreat say it's like a 20 years of therapy in just a few
Mhm.
days. And that's what we get when we get to be together. And especially it's nice when it's in a sacred, luxurious, beautiful natural setting like Costa Rica or Mexico.
Yeah,
So
oh, beautiful. Memories made. I've always
yes.
believed every day is memories made.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
beautiful.
every day is memories made. Yes.
Oh, that's so good, Paula. Oh, I
Oh,
love
thank
that.
you. And
Hmm.
this show is going to be a wonderful memory made. We're just going to have to get together and do some more chatting. You are just so fantastic, Kelly.
So are you. And I'm so glad that we got to do this together. And I'm so glad for
Thank
our little
you.
chat before the recording too, which I bet people will have FOMO about. It was so good. You really, I mean, you are like bright, shiny sunshine, but you also, this all didn't just get handed to you. You've
Mhm.
created the sunshine in your life, and you are a real like poster child for somebody who knows how to transform the tragic into
Thank
magic. So
you.
I really appreciate meeting you, and I
Thank
appreciate
you.
your positivity, and especially knowing kind of, how things aren't always perfect every day, and
Mhm. Yep.
it's a muscle, and I think we need that. It boosts me. I mean, I'm used to being the battery pack booster, but it's also wonderful to get a boost as well. It's a real gift to meet you,
Great
Paula. I really
for us.
appreciate you.
That's great for us. That's why I called my book What I Did. Why am I so happy? Because I was
Y-
always asked that. That
Yeah.
people assumed my life had been perfect and it had not.
What's one of your go-to ways to turn tragic into magic? How do
Ah,
you come back to your
for
happy
one,
place?
it's every morning think of one thing I'm grateful for. And that will
Mm,
send the tone of my day. Yep,
that's beautiful.
the tone of
Yeah.
gratitude. Even if it's the fact I have groceries in a refrigerator, I have a pillow to lay my head on, it's find one thing you're grateful for. And to me, that just kind of sets the tone of my whole day.
Oh, it's so powerful.
And I've
Thank you
always
for
loved
sharing
putting a
that.
smile on somebody's face, or sharing a compliment, or, I just have always, that's made me happy.
Yeah. And it's addicting too. I mean,
It is.
yeah, the practice of gratitude, that's something that has been a daily part of my world that I don't, it's like brushing my teeth. I can't leave home without it. It's just,
Love
it
it.
clicks the brain into a whole different way of thinking
Mhm.
than like, "Oh, what have you done for me lately, life?
Yeah.
What about the X, Y, and Z?" It's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, let me be grateful. Oh my God, none of this is guaranteed.
Yeah.
All of this is grace.
Yes.
All of this is
Oh,
gratitude worthy. So
oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Oh, what
thank you,
beautiful
Paula.
words to finish with. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. Everybody out there, love, hugs, and blessings. Oh my gosh, I wish we could go on for an hour. This has been so great. Kelly, thank you so much. Love, hugs, and blessings.
Love, hugs, and blessings to you too.
Thank you.